Hey guys, all right, so I was just playing around here for a little bit. I need to do, I guess, a video on something. So I made some sounds for this work in progress, I guess. I'm gonna do something with it, but I'm gonna show you how I made this sound with massive. And then this sound I can show as well. I want to go for like a really minimal, kind of cloudy, just really deep track. This is the very beginning. Like I just started messing around like an hour ago, and I've been spending more time lately working on sound design and developing my own sounds more. Like for a while, I kind of would layer presets, but now I'm just trying to start doing it from scratch again. So I also was playing around and recorded some vocals, and then did a bunch of weird stuff to them. So it's gonna be kind of like a really deep tune. If I finish it, which I definitely would like to do. So I guess just to get started, we'll go over this sound. It's really not much to it once you get it out. A massive. I don't even think it's really not that complicated of a sound to make in general. I added some chorus on after, did EQing. This is just a filter by Soundcloud, and then I put some stereo width on it, and I did like a pan a little bit to the right. But to get the sound, I wound up playing. Let's see. I played A major, but I inverted it. Or not A major, A minor. Sorry, yeah, A minor, and I inverted it. Basically, which if you don't know what an inversion is, what you would do is just take this G and put it up here. It's the same thing then, basically. But I just inverted the note down, so. So what did I do here? Let's find out. Alright, I only use one oscillator. I just used the standard. Yeah, I just use square saw, and it's all the way to saw. So that's like how it even starts up. I haven't even changed anything there. Now where it kind of gets the weird pan thing is from the filter. So without the filter, it's really loud. So when you put the filter on, I put the low pass there, and then the trick is using LFOs to get that effect. So I actually put this to sync. I did a ratio of like half note, and then you can just basically you can either go all the way to just using the sine wave, or this is, I think, supposed to be, yeah, it's a saw wave. So just down the middle. So it's actually a blend of both. So it actually gives it more interesting movement. It's a little smoother. It's a really subtle sound too. I put vibrato on it. Is it really all I did? Wow. Okay, and then there's some reverb, which doesn't even do a whole lot, just gives it a little bit of space. It's a really minimal sound, and then after the chorus just gives it a little bit of metallicness to it, taking out the low end again for the song, and then filtering that sound, and then I did the stereo width tool. So yeah, and then I just have it turned up and a little more EQing, and I have a sidechain compressor on it. It's a really simple sound. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. It's in the beginning stages of this, so especially when you're writing, you always wind up erasing stuff, and I already had like 3 other sounds that I've sifted through and deleted, and this is where I'm currently at, but I might wind up deleting this. I think I'll probably keep this sound. This sound, though, I don't know if I'll wind up keeping. I'm kind of not really sold on it. It kind of annoys me after a while. Okay, I'm going to freeze this because it seems like my CPU's freaking out. So, and then this sound. I should probably turn this up that way. That'll probably help save some CPU. Sorry about having to freeze all this stuff. It's just because I'm recording at the same time. It's spiking the CPU. I think this Camtasia video capturing software takes a lot of CPU as well, especially I think when it's recording 1080 HD. So let's see, where am I at? Okay, so back to this sound. I'll unfreeze this one. I don't know what else I have on here. Just started throwing stuff on, but unfreeze track. Let's see, how did I get this sound? So I obviously went file and went to new sound, and then I started off with square saw, which I believe it's the first one. This time it's actually in the middle. I played A, okay. And then I added a second oscillator in, which with a poly saw. So if we turn that off, okay, that gives it quite a bit of its sonic character. And then I've just been experimenting with Massive a lot, and over the past day, I don't know why I haven't before, but I use this additive mix 4 wave, which, I mean, it's just an obscure wave. It's not, a lot of the waves in here for the wavetable synthesis are obscure. So I put it up by 27 semitones, I guess, is what I did. Okay, and then I did a low pass filter, a little bit of resonance, put the filter there, and then I ran these serial, which means it's going to go through filter 1 first, and then it's going to, why is that not turned up all the way? That'll help. And then after it passes through filter 1, it's going to pass through filter 2, which I put a band pass on. So if you turn it off, that's what gives it that characteristic. So it's only letting like certain frequencies through in between this area. And then basically I have this set to come out through mix 2. So if bring it down to 2, it's just going to go through 1, through 2, and then it will come out to the next section. And then after that, I went in, and this envelope 4 is default for like controlling your amp envelope. So I adjusted it. I brought the attack almost all the way forward. I brought the decay down a little bit to kind of give it a little more pluckiness. I think I just moved it by accident. And then I added some release on to that as well. And then the next part, it gives it and then after that I added reverb on to this, and this is another thing I've been doing. Let's see, this doesn't even really do much, it just adds a little bit of space. Sometimes I get really extreme with this and you get like a weird pulsing effect if you use the LFO and you do it inverted compared to the sound. I've noticed that you get stuff that could be similar to something you'd hear from deadmau5, which is really interesting by doing that, and it's really cool. But for this, it's just really, really subtle. So I think that's everything for this sound. And then I just added on a bunch of EQs. Put overdrive on, some more saturation. Didn't use that. Don't know why I did so many cuts. I was just, wow, I have like 4 EQs. I don't know why I have so many EQs. I could have just used one. I just got lazy and just kept stacking them on. Wasn't paying attention that I already had one on there. And then I did compression after. And then after, why I have 6 EQs on this is ridiculous. I have no idea why I have 6 EQs. That is, what am I doing? This will happen. If you just space out and you'll just keep adding stuff to it. Alright, so not a whole lot to that either. Pretty simple sounds. I'm really just kind of going for a cloudy mix on this. Again, it's in the very, very beginning. I'm just trying to like kind of hash out some ideas and find stuff to work with, and what I'll keep. And like with this sound, I don't know if I'll keep it. Honestly, I probably won't. If I'm not in love with it, so I'll probably wind up finding something better or creating a different sound. But it's just an idea to run with. And I have it panned all the way to the left on this one. This is taking a while. I've been starting to play around more with like panning my stuff differently and kind of just doing extreme values, and kind of maybe I want to start moving towards a more minimal sound. Like a lot of times I'm building these like vast soundscapes, but I want to just try to start developing like really interesting minimal sounds, and I might have to layer them a lot, but when I do that I can just kind of have them in one tiny, like on the left side of the track or something, and it's just something there that keeps your interest and have sparse other stuff going on. This bass line is not, it's okay. It's just again a work in progress. I'd like to develop it more. This is just basically a preset with Anna. It's like their kick, drum, bass kind of deal with their techno presets, but I just played it up a little bit higher. And then I made this in massive, this sound. And then I layered them together so it gives them a little more edge. I guess just to show this, see what I did here. What did I do? I used another obscure wave, Rough Math 2, and this is again the standard starting point square. So I'm on a saw 1 at 0. So we'll get rid of the second oscillator. That math is what gives it its character. I pitched it down by 12 semitones, put a filter on, and I adjusted the envelope on this one. I put it all the way up, and I put some release on as well. And then envelope 3, I dragged over to the low pass filter. I put a low pass on, and then used that to modulate how much the cutoff opens up. So I can even add. So you can even set these over to, how do I do this? I don't remember. I haven't done this in a long time. Okay. Yeah, and you could even start just using the macros, and you can use those to kind of build tension and kind of wash it out. Maybe even do, let's see about this. Really doesn't get much brighter. Oh, I think I have it filtered down. Yeah, that's why. Okay, let's try that again. So that's pretty much it for these sounds. Again, just started with this. I wanted to just do maybe like a sound design tutorial, and just kind of how I'm going around getting sounds right now. And I guess these are all on massive, so that was cool. So if you're not very familiar with massive, it's pretty daunting, I guess, if you're just getting into subtractive synthesis, because it's very oddly laid out. It's, you know, you have to think differently. It's also based on wavetables, which is different as well. So I guess just in case you're not familiar with what that even means, is basically for this one you have a square and a saw, and it's a table. So if you're all the way to the right, you're only hearing the saw. If you're all the way to the left, you're only hearing the square. And then you can start moving them and blending them together, and you can have these more dynamic, I guess, or interesting sounds. Like you're able to get a lot more interesting sounds using Massive because they have these obscure waves, and then also they're on wavetables, so you can start layering them. And then on top of it with this synth, which is really intense, is that like everything in this thing can be modulated, and you can modulate things to each other. Like we took this envelope 3 and then modulated the cutoff, and then you can also add another one on where you're using the macros, and you could actually go in here and then modulate an LFO onto the attack of this as well. I don't know if that doesn't. So it's having an effect basically on that, but we don't want that. But so you can see that you could just keep modulating stuff, and then you could modulate, say, this LFO to the attack of the cutoff modulation envelope, because this envelope is modulating this cutoff. And then you go into this LFO, and then you could even grab LFO 7, and you can start modulating the way that this moves in between with this LFO, in between these different waveforms. So you can even modulate that, and then like you just keep going and going with this kind of stuff. And then like, all right, well, I'm gonna now modulate LFO 7s the way this one fades up and down using that. So you can get some really interesting stuff when you start stacking and modulating on top of other things. This synth can get very complicated, but it can also be used, you know, in a more simple manner as well. So I hope this helped. This went a lot longer than I thought, but I hope some of the things I talked about will kind of help you approach Massive more with some confidence. I might even do maybe a whole video just kind of running down all the components in here and what they mean at another point. So anyways, hope this helped, and until next time, have fun and get creative.